Hey, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to American Eagle Rises. I'm your host, Frank. It's TGI Friday. Thank God I am dying. I barely got through the week. Man, I don't know, man. The last couple of weeks have just been... you guys have that same feeling too? I swear, man, just getting up every day is fatiguing. Yeah, so what is going on with America First Rises News? America First Rises News? I meant to say America First News, but hey, sure, why not, right? So quick. I had a eye exam earlier. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I better go get my eyes checked. So when I was actually at Sam's Club yesterday, getting my stuff, and I'm like, well, let me just stop by here, and I asked them if they had a certain time, for today, and they said, oh yeah, we got 10 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, perfect, because that's in between my meetings. So, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to might need bifocals, and guess what? Yep, we were right. And it's actually a little, I don't want to say worse, but the eye exam said I actually need a little bit of correction even far out. Really? I knew I needed readers, but yeah. So, yeah. Put an order in for some new frames and glasses and progressives, and so I have finally, perhaps, graduated to adult level. Yeah, and I got progressive, so you can't tell it's a bifocal, so I won't look nearly as decrepit as I thought bifocals would be. I don't know. I always thought that. I don't know why. I think someone told me. I don't want to say when I was younger, but here we are. Here we are. Yeah, so anyway, who cares about that, right? Let's get our glasses on. Yeah, I know. It's going to be it's probably going to, once I get my real glasses. I hate wearing glasses. It's why I got LASIK in the first place, and I had contacts. Whatever. The other thing, I don't know if I told you guys as well, and again, this ain't necessarily America First, but, I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Frank needs a new computer. Maybe he needs a little, it's not quite a want, and it's not 100% a need. So this thing is like 10 years old, and it's like, I can't believe it. I've had this computer this long, and actually, to be honest, I've never had a computer this long. So, and I kind of spent some money on it back then, and the idea was, hey, it'd be great to have this thing running for 5 years and whatnot, right? So, at the time, I don't want to say it was top line, it was like maybe a step below, but I kind of want to buy it, for the long run, not have to, I'm like, all right, well, there's a couple pieces I can upgrade. And then, what was it? I don't know if I told you guys too. So a couple years ago, there was a game I played, Baldur's Gate 3. And I knew my system the graphics card wasn't going to cut the mustard, right? So, ended up getting a new graphics card. It wasn't top of the line, but it was a significant improvement. And then when I put that in, I'm like, oh, wait, it has a pinout that my power supply is. So I had to buy a new power supply. But right now, the CPU is probably on the way out. I only have 16 gig of RAM on there, so playing a game might be a little... So I'm thinking about getting some more RAM for this particular one. We'll see if that kind of helps, but I'm looking at a new rig anyway. But anyway, that's just, I'll let you guys know if I pull the trigger on that. Still doing an investigation. I've been doing an investigation for about a week now. And Frank kind of likes his, gaming stuff. Not that I have a lot of time to play a lot of gaming, but damn it, And we're gonna try to, again, we're gonna buy it. You know, it might cost, like, I think when I bought all this, it was like 3,000 at the time or something like that. And the monitor at the time was, I think, like $700, $800. So this was like, the monitor was like almost the highest you could get it at the time. And again, it's worked pretty good for a very long period of time. But yeah, so we might be spending about $4 grand on. Yeah, I know. But then again, I'm getting new everything, even the keyboard, the mouse. All anyway, whatever. This ain't, I'm not getting any money for that. So, quick Wall Street thing, right? Yeah. So the 10-year Treasury went down 4 basis, or I'm sorry, up 8. Let's try that again. the Treasury 10-year, the yield's gone up 4 basis points. The dollar DXY is back above 98. So interesting enough, with that type of setup, the overall market the Wall Street part should be selling off, and it really isn't. It's actually still up for the day, and I think all the announcements for crypto and Bitcoin or whatever. Yeah, it looks like it's buy the rumor, sell the news thing, because Bitcoin is selling off by a little bit more than 1%. Gold and silver pretty much they're trading sideways. But my miners are still tacking on, so that's very interesting. And Trump, I gotta look at it. So this is kind of where the America First news kind of comes in. For Switzerland tariffs, they're putting it on, what is it? 100-ounce gold bars, and I think like 1 kilo bars. If you guys don't know, most of the refining out of gold bars and stuff come out of Switzerland. Now this sounds kind of weird. Why would we tariff this? But if you guys don't already know, there is so much paper contracts for gold. There's not enough physical gold to support. If everyone wanted delivery of, there's not enough. It's been going on for a very long period of time. It's actually worse in the silver market. Yeah. So what happens is the big banks, they get because it's all based on a future, and you don't have to own the asset to write these contracts. You can just short a whole bunch, right? So when you short that much in paper contracts, the physical, you can actually suppress the price. So with that, gold futures are up, which is indicative of, hey, this could actually wreck the COMEX market. And if you don't know what that is, that's the commodities open market exchange, something like that, for essentially commodities, right? So you can buy commodities based on a future, right, which is a future promise to buy at a certain amount at a certain time, and you can buy and sell these contracts, but you don't have to own anything. And that's, I think if you're actually in these markets and you're like a miner or whatnot, maybe you can sell a contract and be like, yeah, but you shouldn't be able to bank and just be able to do that, right? So this potentially could do a major short squeeze. So hey, that'd be good, because if gold and silver go up, right, then they're forced to take a big L on this stuff. So we'll keep continuing on that. I think that's more of a long-term play, meaning that's not going to happen anytime soon. It could potentially maybe poke its head in the fall. So there's a lot of things pointing toward fall, everyone. So yeah, again, keep your radar on. All sorts of just little, we're finding these things on the margin, and it's all building up. There's a lot of things building up. So I'm both excited and terrified at the same time. I'm terrified, like, what's the outcome, right? I mean, I think it's going to be a good outcome, but it's like, I think we got, as much as it's crazy right now, and it's like, just, you can't make any of this stuff up. It's like getting crazier by the second. But I think it's just, we're going to have this weird, crazy, for probably, I don't want to say for the rest of the year, but it could be, right? Yeah, I was hoping for a nice fall, meaning like the beginning of fall. My birthday's October 1st. I was hoping maybe, it's not good. I don't know. It doesn't look, in 2 months, I don't think this is going to get all cleaned up. So, yeah, so that's what's going on in the market overall. I did see a few other things. Uh, it went away again. This is so annoying. But anyway, one of them was Trump, President Trump. Thank God you should have done this earlier, and I think maybe he tried, but I don't know. He should have just been like, hey man, the commander in chief, I can, but we're sending army personnel to take on the Mexican cartels. Man, I said send 5 divisions on the southern border, right? And if you need to, have an incursion. Although that's like borderline, like, oh geez, it's a partial invasion, but we're repelling the invaders here, and if their base of operations is across the Rio Grande, well, guess what, right? It's just a stupid river. If Mexico ain't willing to do its job, then we need to do it for them. And if they're going to get in the way, guess what? You're not going to be in the way for long. Right? Do you have M1 Bradleys? Or I'm sorry, M1 Abrams and M2 Bradleys? Do you got A10 Warthogs? Get out of the way, Mexico. If you want to flex your Mexican army, why don't you attack the cartels? Oh, wait, the cartels own the entire Mexican government. That's what's going on. Oh, yeah. That's actually real, guys. I'm just playing along as what the Communist Network News portrays. And here we go again with the rhetoric, and who knows? I'm trying to get, I don't want to say full confirmation, but again, these headlines, these are totally to be expected, and I'm surprised. There's something going on in the background, because you wouldn't pull this up, but, so it says Israel's Gaza escalation means abandoning hostages, families say. Like, what come on. We knew this shit's gonna go down, so yeah. But then it says, UN says Israel's plan of Gaza City military offensive has to end. Okay, UN, what type of accountability can you have? I'm not even sure if Israel isn't part of the United Nations. I know we are. And I wish we could leave, but it's actually in our best interest to stay because we are a permanent security member, right? So we have veto power on the Security Council of the UN. So, because if we leave and we say, oh, okay, then we will never be let back in. And then technically the UN, right? Because now you got China and Russia on there. They have veto power, right? They could just like, oh yeah, we're going to declare war on the United States. And the entire, yeah, that would be bad. I don't want to fight the entire world at the exact same time. No, that's not good. It's already basically U.S. versus everyone, right, guys? But yeah, let's not make it that transparent, right? But there was something else. I can't remember what I saw. Yeah, guys, sorry. I'm trying to find it again. Every time I have it here, and then when I mouse over, all the entire stories, everything here just goes. Here, we'll hit the refresh stories thing and see if anything comes back. Dale Earnhardt. I've done 10 clicks. Yeah, any guys hear anything about the list thing? Epstein. ICE. Come on, ICE, ICE, baby. Bassett says markets expect Fed to cut rates this year. Duh. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. It's called Market Watch or something. There's a CMM tool. And I might be saying it wrong, guys, so I apologize. But there's like a spot where like the odds or probabilities of like a rate cut, and it says like how much of a rate cut. So basically, right now, the next September meeting, which I think is like a September, like right around the fall equinox, somewhere around there. It would. I never. didn't really put that together. Now, did I? That seems kind of odd. Why is the FOMC meeting right on the fall equinox? Coincidence? I don't know. Maybe not a coincidence. Anyway, that's a ding, meaning I got like 15 minutes to my next meeting, guys. I'm going to go see a good buddy of mine, and his son's in town, so we're going to try and get we're trying to get it up. I did download Battlefield 6. I don't think I think my computer is going to be a dog. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run it. But we downloaded it, and see I think it's open beta, and then, or play test, I think today, or yesterday, I don't know, whatever. This weekend's open beta, so I think everybody can play, but I just hit the thing and they gave me access, so we're going to try that out. Yeah, what was I going on with this? Sorry, guys. Yeah, so anyway, the FOMC, yeah. The probability of a rate cut is like over 99% or 98%, something like that. So, now what's funny is, technically, the Fed doesn't have to cut rates. That would be very shocking for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the Fed says it doesn't listen to the market, but it does. It doesn't have to listen to the market, but pretty much if the market thinks it's cutting, the Federal Reserve should probably cut whether they like to or not. Because if let's say they do the opposite of what the market will have such a knee-jerk reaction, it'll just, it'll be like, oh my God, the end of the world, oh no, we didn't cut a quarter. And they're only going to cut a quarter basis point anyway, so it's just funny that everyone's worked up about a quarter point. But here's the thing, right? It's not how much the cut is. It's, oh, you didn't do it? Then everyone flips out. So it's just kind of funny, right? But that's the thing, right? So the Fed doesn't like when the market is too irrational, right? Like irrational exuberance or whatever the hell Alan Greenspan said. What the hell, man? God, he was good maybe in the first couple of years. He actually was a proponent of the gold standard, and then he just totally didn't even, it's like once he got in there, he didn't even bother with gold. So, yeah, so with that said, guys, I don't see anything else. Oh, there it is. Prepare to target, target Latin American drug cartels. Yeah, do it. Oh, yeah, I'm also hearing that Greg Abbott / probably the Fed, there was a bunch of Dems, and now they're in contempt of court, and they left Texas. Well, that's called breaking the law. So I get it. You don't like your own medicine, because the Democrats for decades have been redistricting every damn district known to man. And then when, oh my God, one Republican wants their, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Yeah, it's the end of their world. These communists can't handle even playing field, right? And that's what's funny. Now we got to play the dirty tricks, but what's funny is they want to play even dirtier tricks. So what used to be called dirty tricks is now just par for the course. In a fake world, you have to be even faker to look fake. So if you're just like a little bit fake, that's normal now. Or like that's like, oh wow, you're super square to be hit. Whatever the hell that damn song was. I can't remember. I'm getting too... Everything's blurring together now, guys. It's Friday. I haven't had any beer. Yeah, oh, that's another thing. Yeah, we'll end it on here. So yeah, I don't have anything else here, guys, for you. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so yesterday, when I was at Sam's Club getting food and all that stuff, right? Now I'm like, I see people with chips, and I'm like, no, can't have chips. I'm like, all right, I can get around that. See the cookies, yeah, okay, that's nice, but whatever. Cookies are cookies, right? But, around the fall time, Sam Adams has what's called an Oktoberfest beer. Well, it looks like it's already available at Sam's Club, so I was up that there. I'm like, oh, hey, I'll just get... And they have a large one of like 28 bottles in one. And I normally buy one of those and like lasts for a while. But they had like a smaller box. I'm like, oh hey, there's only 12 in here, right? And I'm like, I'm getting it, and I'm like, oh, it was like on the, looks like someone already took a whole bunch of them. So I had to try to get them out, and they were like in a box. I had to like lift it. I'm like, but it's real high, and it's all the way to the back. So even though I'm like 6 foot and I got long arms, I'm like getting it, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can't have beer, and I'm like, no, I can have beer. No, you can't have beer. Why? So I'm like, okay, fine, I just gave up, and then I went and got all my, my fruit, and so yeah, guys, I was like, oh, just 1 or 2 beers won't hurt. 1 or 2 beers won't hurt, most likely. But if I buy that, right, that's 12, and let's say that lasts like 3 weekends still, right? So we're trying. We barely had any breakfast today. We haven't had lunch. It's almost 1 o'clock. I did have a protein shake, or my whatever. It's called it's like plant protein or something shit like that. I can't remember. Or lean. And then I had like a banana, like 2 of those little they're like I think they're called clementines or whatever. They're like oranges, but they're smaller, and I like them because they taste better. They taste more orange, like I don't know what it is with the oranges now. They're like massive. They're almost like grapefruits. And I don't know what's going on with most of the oranges. They're not. It's almost like they're yellow. They're not orange, and they're not like yellow. And yeah, they don't taste. It's like, I don't know. It just taste. There's no taste in them anymore. But and then I had some blackberries. I love blackberries. Oh God, I can eat nothing but blackberries all day. Just. So calorie wise, that was probably pretty low. I don't even think that was 400 calories. And I was like, once I started, I was about to eat, and I was like, my stomach was going, and I was like, oh my God, it hurts. So we're doing fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Hey, we're about to. Oh my gosh, we found the stop button for the video, and it's 222. Sweet. All right, man. See you guys. Bye.